It started out like any other Sunday morning. Birds chirped outside the window, sunlight spilled through the curtains, and the scent of fresh coffee filled the air. I had just settled into my favorite chair with a warm mug when I heard the unmistakable sound of pounding footsteps racing down the stairs. Tyler and Jason, my stepsons, burst into the living room, laughing and full of energy. Tyler, the older one at 19, was tall, broad-shouldered, always the leader. Jason, just a year younger, was quieter, but with a mischievous spark in his eyes. They'd grown up side by side, bonded deeply, especially after their father, my husband Greg, passed away 2 years ago. I'd been their stepmother for nearly a decade. Over time, we grew close, but as they stepped into adulthood, things shifted. The boys were becoming men, and somewhere along the way, the space between us widened. "Morning, Lisa," Jason chirped, flopping onto the couch and tossing a pillow at his brother. "You're gonna regret that," Tyler warned, grinning as he tackled him. They wrestled like little kids again, knocking over a magazine and nearly spilling my coffee. I shot them a look, and they both froze. "Sorry," Tyler said quickly. "We didn't mean to." Jason sat up. "Actually, we need your help. There's something in our room we want to show you." I raised an eyebrow. "Since when do you two need help cleaning?" Jason stood and held out a hand. "Just come. It's not cleaning. Promise." Curious, I followed them upstairs. Their room was at the end of the hall, the door slightly ajar. I hesitated. They never invited me in like this. "Just go in," Tyler urged, nudging me gently. I stepped inside. The room was dim. Then, click, the lights flicked on, and I froze. The walls were covered in framed photos. At the center was a large canvas painting of our family. Me, Greg, and the boys, on a trip from years ago. The sunlight in the painting, Greg's arm around my shoulders, the boys laughing. It was all so vivid. "You did this?" I asked, stunned. Jason nodded. "We commissioned it. For you. We thought, after everything, you should be reminded of the good times." I felt a lump rise in my throat. The memories came rushing in. Greg's laughter, the long nights after he was gone, the weight of trying to hold it all together. I stepped closer, gently running my fingers along the brush strokes. "You boys have no idea how much this means to me," I whispered. Tyler placed a hand on my shoulder. "We know we haven't said it, but we really care about you." I turned to face them, eyes stinging with tears. "You dragged me up here, and I thought you were going to pull some prank. This is beautiful. Thank you." They smiled, and we all sat down on the bed. For the first time in months, we talked, really talked, about their college plans, how hard it was losing Greg, how sometimes they felt like they were just drifting. That night, I sat in my room, staring at an old photo of Greg, and it hit me how much the boys had grown, how much they still needed someone, even if they didn't say it out loud. They weren't little kids anymore, but they weren't all the way grown up either. In the weeks that followed, something shifted. We started spending more time together, cooking meals, gardening, watching Greg's favorite old movies. One evening, Tyler came home with a flat tire, and I helped him fix it in the driveway. We laughed the whole time. Jason started opening up about a girl he liked in class. Bit by bit, we were becoming a family again, stronger, closer. One afternoon, as I passed by their room, I heard music and laughter. I peeked inside. They were reorganizing their bookshelf, the canvas painting still proudly displayed above the bed. They saw me and waved me in. "You belong here too, Lisa," Tyler said. "You always have." And in that moment, I realized something powerful. They didn't just see me as a stepmother anymore. They saw me as someone who stayed, Someone who showed up even when it was hard. Someone who loved them when they weren't sure how to ask for it. It wasn't some grand gesture or dramatic turning point like I'd imagined. It was a painting, a quiet conversation, a flat tire. And through it all, we healed. We found understanding. And we found our way back to each other. Our house didn't feel broken anymore. It felt whole. And for the first time in a long while, I believed we were going to be okay.